Hello, welcome back to the good, the bad and the stupid news. It's Thursday the 25th of July. Got the date right this time, first time. It's been hot, isn't it? The hottest day of the year, 39 degrees, even higher some other places, much higher in my van. I'll tell you what, I have to admit, yesterday I said, what people moaning about and whatever, even though I love it, don't get me wrong, but I didn't get a chance to lie down or do anything that was relaxing in the heat today, and fuck me, it was hot. I bought some new shorts, and I ran out of the house in these new shorts which I literally had delivered yesterday, and I put them on. They're like jean shorts, cut off like Levi jean shorts, and I put them on, and it was only when I was late, and it was only when I got halfway to my van that I started thinking, hang on a minute, I think these are a little bit too tight, and I was on my way to a market, and I walked around in that heat, round and round and round in these super tight. Well, they got tighter. They felt like they were fucking getting tighter, like constricting. Fuck me, it was like. But I didn't have nothing else with me, so I had no choice but to battle on. So, I mean, that's my sob story of the heat wave, but. As soon as I got home, believe me, I changed them shorts straight away, and I'll have to I don't know, rethink buying clothes on the internet, because there's always something wrong if you've never, best thing to do is go in the shop, try it on, then buy it on the internet. But fuck me, I thought it looked alright at first, but then they were just like, I thought a little bit tight, I thought they'd stretch, but no, super tight. Anyway, yeah, but it was a beautiful day, don't get me wrong, absolutely stunning. I mean, give me more. Another day like that tomorrow would be all good. I love the hot weather. I don't particularly like work. That is the problem. That's the same for many people. Give me hot weather all day long. Just give me fucking loads of money so I don't have to go to work, so I can sit and enjoy it properly. In some more expensive shorts, better, the more fitting shorts. Anyway, moving on. This is it's all very random, these videos, as you may or may not gather. So anyway, Boris Johnson again is the PM, and he's going through his motions, isn't he? But anyway, I'm not going to say anything about him today. But I wanted to just show this. They've put a better picture of him in the paper when he fucking smashed that. The boy during the rugby match. I showed you the picture yesterday. I think I mentioned it. There's a better picture of it here, and you might be able to see it a lot better. But look at that. How is that not a guy who's determined to take that kid out? Look at him. He's like fucking. He's got. I'm fucking taking this ball over that line with you alive or not, written all over his face there, isn't it? Just Papa smashed him. Fucking funny that is, absolutely brilliant. He's obviously a good cameraman. It wasn't quite as angry as that, but it's a good photo anyway. Hopefully he made some good money out of that one. Other news: Rutger Hauer has died. Rutger Hauer. I bet a lot of you youngers don't even know who Rutger Hauer is, do you? He was from the original Blade Runner. It was his main thing. That's the main big name. Big film name or whatever for him, but the film I always remember him for is The Hitcher. If you haven't heard of him, you might not have heard of The Hitcher, but The Hitcher, the film, I remember that it was in the 80s or the 90s, but it's like a horror film when he's the hitcher, or give the secret away, he's the hitchhiker who got picked up and terrorised the people that that picked him up, and he was just got a crazed fucking lunatic, and he'd put anybody off hitchhiking or anybody off. Basically, shame for hitchhikers, he'd put fucking anybody off picking up hitchhikers after watching that for a little while, I imagine. But yeah, it's a great film, The Hitcher. Shame because he was like he disappeared for a long time. I haven't seen him around on the TV or anything for. Not in anything that I've seen, but hang on, saying that. Appeared in a number of other films and telly shows, including Batman Begins, Sin City, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I'm lying a little bit. I've seen Sin City and I've seen Batman Begins, but there must have been small roles because I don't remember him. And his last role was fantasy film Vi 2, Journey to China, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's not a bad bow out, I suppose. I mean, I've never seen the fucking film though, but to be in the film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know. But yeah, shame. Rutger Hauer. Sorry to see him go. Yesterday I was talking about orgasms. Let's go back to orgasms. I was talking about that. Well, they're saying it's an illness, a rare illness. I was going to say a condition, but it's an illness according to these that gives uncontrollable orgasms. The one woman was saying that it ruined her life, and the condition is called persistent genital arousal disorder. So, you know, get yourself checked if you think you've got it, or I'm trying to think of anything else I could say around that. Anyway, it's a rare disorder anyway, where someone feels like, but basically when an orgasm becomes a fucking pain in the fanny, probably a pain in the arse, I was going to say then, but a fucking nightmare to live with, and it takes the fun out of it completely. But anyway, it was about, like, you know, somebody who drives over a pothole and it causes it to climax, she was saying, and they was talking about, and so there's some other things here that they're saying about other illnesses that are unusual illnesses. So I'm just going to go through them with you as well. The one was hypertrichosis, which is the condition the headline hairing, where you grow excess hair all over your body, and is nicknamed the werewolf syndrome. And you must have seen those kids in Mexico years ago, who were total hairy faces and that, weren't they? They were totally covered in hair all over their body. So that's one. Another one is Cotard delusion, also known, this was a strange one, also known as walking corpse syndrome. And people who've got it are convinced that they are zombies, like Bill Nye, he says here. I'm sure they don't think they're zombies like Bill Nye, they just think they're zombies. And they think they are either already dead or that parts of their body are missing. First identified in 1880. It's a rare mental disorder where one sufferer who hung around the graveyard said, there was no point in eating because I thought I was dead. Obviously, it's good to know that they now realise that they're, you know, she's obviously looking back on that. Otherwise, you'd still think you were dead. She's obviously got something that's helped it or whatever. Because how would you know if you think you're a zombie? You don't think, I think I'm a zombie, I need help, I'm ill. Because then you just think you're ill. Anyway, you know, you get my point. Another one, a skin condition called epidermoplasia. I can't. Verruciformis. Suffered like a wart-like growths that resemble tree bark all over their bodies. Although they can be removed by surgery, the condition often grows back, so you're growing like thick tree bark all over you. I've seen some of that in some of those programs, but why call it a name like that? I mean, nobody can read it. Surely there's a shorter version that, you know, is not been used. Epidermoplasia. I'm not going to try it again. Verruciformis. You know, no need for it to be that. I mean, sticking to the Latin, aren't they? But that is just too long. Another one that's fishy. Imagine reeking of fish all the time. That's the fate of sufferers of, wait for it, fish odour syndrome. See what they did there? Also known as, here we go, trimethylaminuri. I think I cracked that one. A rare condition often caused by faulty genes that stops the body breaking down food properly. It leads to a smell of rotting fish or eggs being released through sweat. You know who you are. Stiff order. Some guys have trouble getting an erection. Others end up suffering from one that lasts for hours. I'm not saying that. Known as priapism. It involves blood getting trapped in the penis. If not treated immediately, it can cause lasting damage. Yeah, I haven't got that. What's this one? Another one called alien hand syndrome. Obviously, see, these are a bit fucking on the ball, aren't they? They're just calling it blatantly what it is. But the other ones call it tree bark syndrome or fucking what's the other one? Zombie syndrome. These ones are calling this one alien hand syndrome. I get the idea. Roughly, well, you've got to tell me what it is, but a rare neurological condition resulting from brain trauma where the sufferer is not in control of their own limbs. Their hands can reach out for objects, looking like they are being controlled by someone else. That's a bit weird, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of that one. It's a bit of a tame one, really, that one, isn't it? Just somebody reaching for an apple when they don't choose to reach for an apple. Unless they're reaching and punching someone in the face on the tube or something like that, or on the bus. That'd get him into trouble. You know, like the hand on the, what's it called? Fucking Addams Family. You got that crazy hand that does what it... It's like that, but it's still attached to your arm. Unspeakable. When somebody suffers a stroke, oh, this one's a good one. When someone suffers a stroke, they can come round speaking a French accent or with a lilt of another lingo like Mandarin. It's a permanent or temporary side effect known as, wait for it, foreign accent syndrome. So these know the score. You know, they're just fucking calling it what it is, even though you know, it's a bit too. You know, fucking now, what should we call it? I don't know. Foreign accent syndrome. You know, I suppose. Somewhere in between the Latin and the fucking shit name. Find something a little bit better. Cause between the brain injury leads to changes in speech. It's funny because obviously some of these people have never been to China and they start talking with this Mandarin accent or whatever. It's, you can just imagine, you know, where have they picked it up from the local restaurants or something like that, you know. Because they can't do it very well. They must be just trying to talk in a Chinese accent. You can't just automatically, surely, learn to talk Chinese, so they're trying to talk Chinese in a Chinese accent, but you could be like Scouse or Brummy or something, you know what I mean? So that would just be hilarious if you were their friend or family and they started doing that. Or on the flip side, a Chinese man banging his head or whatever and waking up talking Scouse. Huh? How hilarious is that? Hey mate, what's happening like? Obviously not too good. If I'd have rehearsed this or knew I was going to say that, I'd fucking have a Scouse accent down. You fucking mark my words. Anyway, moving on. Another one is exposure to silver over a long period causes to build up in the body, leading to a condition called, yeah, they've gone back, argyria. Argyria right. Argyria right. I don't know if the right's part of the name. But anyway, where, because right doesn't fit in that sentence, where your skin turns a smurf-like colour and irreversible blue. Okay, now so you get, if you come in contact with silver, if someone buys you with some silver jewellery and you turn blue, I'm afraid, sorry, it's irreversible. Secondly, I'm afraid you've got that condition. You're never going to find out until you actually touch the silver, turn blue permanently, and that's how you're going to find out, which is a bit, you know, unfortunate. Okay, moving on. Other news now. Was it 1 Foot in the Grave star Richard Wilson? He's sick. I can imagine this. He's sick to death of people saying, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Or get it, or wanting him to say it. Go on, say it, say. People in the streets. And this is like, how would you say, 19 years after the last episode. He's still getting people do that for him, do that to him. So that's the danger of being typecast or being a character with a fucking catchphrase. He's stuck with it, isn't he? And he said he'll only do it or say it to people if it's their birthday. He always turns people down. He only do it unless it's their birthday, and he might say it. So if you do want him to say it, make sure you tell him it's your birthday first. Okay. What's this one? A ferry passenger who has spent £62,000 making 20,000 trips in 43 years has been rewarded with, wait for it, jingle jingle jingle, a £50 of extra crossings. £50 fucking pound from £62,000 making 20,000 trips. The Yarmouth, the operator White Link have surprised him with vouchers of £50. Fucking hell, that's not much of a surprise. I'll tell you what, the biggest surprise of that when he opened that envelope was that it was only £50. You mark my words, that is nowhere near. You might as well. I'd rather have not been given anything than the embarrassment of saying £50 for I've just spent 62 grand. Not much of a fucking, callback. Jump on the other ferry if there's another one. If I was you, how long we got? Oh, I've got to whiz these through now because I'm going to keep the video short. More than 230,000 on the thing of travel. More than 230,000 passengers were standing on trains in London during the rush hour last autumn. Fuck yeah, I've done it myself, and not regularly, but when I've done it, and on hot days like there's been today as well, you're standing up on the train and on the fucking tube, or tube for your fucking standard because it's jam packed, isn't it? But you're paying loads of money. You're paying the same money, and then you're having to stand up because there's not enough carriages or not enough seats. So bullshit. That's what that is. And I use Southern Rail, and they're the worst of the worst of the worst. A pair of rare Nike 1972 Nike trainers have sold at auction for a record £351,740. Fucking brilliant. Who would ever think that you've got something in the cupboard like a pair of trainers that you could just whack them in the auction? They sell for 350,000 now. Check your cupboards because we've all got something that's worth money. You would never think it as well. So start sending pictures off to the auctions. Probably most auction houses wouldn't even know. You could send those photos to a million auction houses and they would go, "They're just a pair of trainers, mate." Shit. So you must have took it to the right sport, an auction specialising in sports history and pop culture. So you've got to pick the right one if you're going to do it. Don't just send some pictures into any random auction. They go, "Oh, I don't know," because half of them don't know fuck all until they check it on the internet themselves, which is what you've just done. Anyway, there's a £5,000 reward to find Gizmo. Remember the dog that's been snatched? It still hasn't been found. £5,000 reward. So, but that's maybe because it's been dropped and somebody thought, "Oh no, I'll keep that Chihuahua." But that's a tempt then to give him back for the £5,000. But I must admit, I did see a video somebody shared on Facebook the other day of a seagull gulping down a rabbit. I mean, the rabbit was pretty big as well. Too big for a seagull gullet anyway. And it was equal size of a Chihuahua. So I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying, hopefully it turns up. Anyway, but it started a backlash. Somebody's ripped off a baby seagull's head, and everyone's fucking getting their revenge, like vigilantes for the loss of Gizmo. Seagulls are bastards, though. I'll tell you, I was in Birmingham the other week, 2 weeks ago. I was kept awake all night. I stayed at my friend's house. Guess what? By seagulls in Birmingham. Fucking, all night they were, right outside the window. So, what are they doing in Birmingham? Right, so what time? Ginger seals. Look at that. It's a ginger seal. New look, had his hair done. He's not actually ginger. Well, there's no such thing as a ginger seal. It's an orange glow that's caused by the mud that's in the area that's rich in iron oxide. So he actually does look like he's proper stained his thing there. He's going to go back to the Pride and they're going to go, look, ginger bollocks. This is what you're doing it. TV chef made a fish pie and then fucking shocked people on the TV when she put the TV cook Nadia Hussein baffled fans by it making a fish pie that was all going well and then bunged in a fucking can of spaghetti hoops. I mean, look, it just looks shit. Anyway, look at that picture there. See all the hoops in the fish pie. That don't look right, does it? Why would you put spaghetti hoops in there? I mean, I haven't seen the finished result, but you know, it don't sound like the fucking, you know. That's something I would reach for, and I'm a bit of a gorilla cock, chuck things together, but I would never think fish pie, spaghetti hoops. I wouldn't have any spaghetti hoops anyway. I don't know if we get spaghetti. What's this one? World War Two. Oh no, that's crap. I won't do that one. Elton John is rocks into his purple suit. He's joined at his what is it? He's got a foundation for AIDS. He's our AIDS foundation at a party in France, I think it is. But I was just shocked. At first, I thought it was a picture of Madame Tussauds. If you look at this picture of Elton John and his partner, I thought that was two waxwork models, waxwork fucking thingy bobs. It's actually them. It's really them. That's actually what they look like. So they've like morphed into waxwork looking versions of themselves. Very strange. Madame Tussauds alive. I've just walked out of the Madame Tussauds. I don't want to go any there now. I'm trying to get this finished. Plainclothes council officers are to patrol Plymouth. This is the gig of the week. Patrol Plymouth and issue £100 fines to dog owners who do not clean up their pets' poo, which is good. We never want to go back to the 80s where you're fucking rolling around in dog shit like I was as a kid. But it's not the gig for the police, is it? That's your job to walk around and catch, you know, people who don't fucking dog shit. You want to be onto something a bit more. What's the word? A bit more fulfilling. That ain't the fulfilling role of the day. George Michael, he's had his house smashed. He's dead, obviously. But he's had his house. House he left smashed up by his ex-partner. I wonder why. He was left out of the will, and his house is now smashed to bits. And he's living there. He's squatting there, and everybody's smashed it to bits. And his picture of him being arrested there. So, shame. He's obviously not right, is he? He's could be caused by the money, could be caused by George Michael dying, could be caused by lots of things, but he ain't right. But he smashed the house up anyway, so somebody's got to fix that or sort that out. And last but not least, Lewis Hamilton denies having a hair transplant and blames hotel shampoo. He says he's always been washing his hair with hotel soap and whatever else, which has made his hair go thin. All of a sudden, dying, his hair's grown back and he's got like this big bouncy head of hair, and he said he started using different products and all of a sudden his hair's bounced back like that. So if you're bald, if I was you, I'd get on to fucking Lewis Hamilton and say, what are these crazy miracle cure products that you've just invented, because you've just gone from almost bald to bouncy hair. And could well be true, but I bet there's a lot of bald guys that are going, fucking hell, I've tried everything under the sun and nothing's worked for me. So why don't you ask him? Put it in his Twitter and all that kind of business. Anyway, that's been Thursday the 25th of July. See you, hopefully do one tomorrow. Adios.